Dear friends, this is just a sharing of some of my ideas with you all, my companions, my teachers, colleagues, and Jesuit school educationists, my students, Jesuit alumni, and number of our own stakeholders. This is an appeal from my part to have a serious reflection and a very, very proactive response to certain happenings in this country today. Our country is great, absolutely great. There is no two questions about it. India has a lot of goodness. Our culture and tradition is one of harmonious coexistence among various groups of people, no matter our cultural differences, our ethnic varieties, our religious differences, and also our linguistic identities. We all feel that we are, after all, one as Indians. We are Indians. But today, whatever the reasons are, or ideological leanings of parties and groups are, the reality is that there is some kind of intolerance is growing. Dissenting voices have been suppressed or oppressed or objected. We see a kind of growing fear among different communities in India. Look at the incidents, whether it is organized or spontaneous, we don't know. Number of incidents that are happening, which are against human values, and I believe they are against even the Indian ethos. We are supposed to be a people of goodwill, people believing in Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, the oneness of all. And that's what we lived in, and that's what we lived with, and that's what we are preaching, and that's what we are imbibed from our older generations. We are a people of great tolerance. We can accept the goodness of all and reject the badness from anybody. But unfortunately, the responses that we are seeing from some of our responsible people, the leaders, I feel sometimes it is extreme intolerance and unacceptable. And as educationists, let us have the right thinking and right attitude to tell our people that what is good for us. Keeping up the values of this nation, we need to move forward as a united force. We are one, absolutely one. We are Indians. No matter this country, which belongs to the majority people, at the same time, it also belongs to ethnic groups. And as they belong to this nation, the minorities too belong to this country. And nobody doubts about it. And I think that there is in the widespread unacceptance to this fact today. But there are few people, whether it is organized or spontaneous, we do not know. Whether it is individual or whether it is a group movement, we don't know. But the fact is that there is some type of intolerance, some type of unacceptance of one another is growing. And I think as teachers, I think as Jesuit school people who have imbibed the spirit of St. Ignatius and the Society of Jesus, cannot be blind to such growing intolerances, such growing negative attitudes. We need to keep on fighting for the positive values in a proactive manner. Most of the times I reflect, what exactly is the problem? Is the problem with people? Is it the problem with groups? Is it the problem with our lack of understanding about the Indian values and the cultural traditions? Or is it our own ignorance towards our own religiosity? What is it? Is it a diabolic, organized way of putting one against the other? I don't know. But I think, quoting from Abraham Maslow, the famous social psychologist, he says, all of us have been created with five needs, important five needs. What are those? Every individuals on this earth have five needs. The first one is the need for physiological satisfaction. Physiological satisfaction includes our need for air. Without oxygen we cannot survive. We need water. We need food. We need love. This is physiological needs of every individual, no matter where he lives, what culture he belongs to, what religion he believes, what he practices, what he speaks. All of us have this need. And the nation has to fulfill these basic needs of its people. There is a responsibility of the governments, especially elected governments. We cannot fail in it. But we cannot live in the first stage alone. We need to move to the second needs. But we have to fulfill the first, then only we move forward to the second. And what is the second need? The second need is security needs. All of us need clothing. We also need shelter to stay, to protect ourselves from the enemies, even external enemies, also from weather. And once we fulfill these second needs, we need to move to the third need. And I think this third need is the one which is misunderstood much today. Third need is belonging need. Belongingness does not mean that we have to be overly belong to. We should not be people who claim to be jingoistic. We need to belong to somebody. We need to belong to a family, a group, a caste perhaps, a religion perhaps, a nationality. Absolutely no problem. We need to. But that should not limit others who belong to the other groups, other culture, other language, other people, other nationality. Everyone has this need. And when we have a kind of false understanding about this belongingness, we create havoc in the society. We try to dominate the other. We do consider the other as our enemy. And then the violence, hatred, and fight starts. And when we belong in the positive sense to somebody, some culture, some group, some family, one nation, we feel so happy. We then move to the next stage. That is the fourth need, which is called esteem need. All of us need esteem. Esteem by doing positive things. Esteem by being proactive. Esteem by doing good works, good service, getting good name and fame, wealth. All of us need. And when we have esteem, we will be appreciated. And when somebody appreciates us, encourages us, says, yes, you have done, well done, we feel our esteem increasing. Everybody needs it. On the contrary, when we put somebody down, oh, you are not okay, you have some weaknesses, you are not perfect, you are our enemy, etc., the esteem, our own esteem is going down first of all, and the others' esteem also we cut down or put down or suppress or oppress. That is the problem. And this fourth need, in a positive sense, we get it. And I wish all Indians get this. We cannot stop it there. We need to move to the next stage, which is called self-actualization. All of us have to reach that level. That is the ultimate aim of education. That's the ultimate aim of our life. We are called to be self-actualized people. Self-actualization means moving out of oneself to the other, considering the other as an extension of me. There is no enmity. There is selfless love. There is no selfish love. We will move to altruistic love. Look at a mother. She no more lives for herself. She lives for her children, her child. And she is ready to sacrifice her time, her energy, her resources, her everything for her child, without looking at herself or her own advantage. That's what we are all supposed to be. All of us are called to reach that fifth stage, self-actualized stage. And we feel that we are accomplished. We feel that we have fulfilled the God-given talents in us, and we have reached out to the other. My dear friends, I think the ultimate aim of education has to be taking each and everyone to the fifth stage. That's our goal. And that is the only solution for the existing problems, existing intolerance, existing the problems that we see in this country and outside. Therefore, simply bringing out a lot of promises and meaningless solutions, etc., will not work. The only solution is proper, right way of education. Imparting that education is the duty of every one of us. Every elders, every teacher, every leader, every writer, every thinker, every artist. All of us have this duty. And therefore, I think the problems will arise, but the solutions have to be found. And I'm sure we will be able to overcome these problems. And I'm sure, once again, I firmly believe that all of us together can do a marvelous thing. That is what teachers are expected to be. That's what we are all called to be. That's what education is supposed to be, helping people. And once again, I wish all of you all the best, and be a person of critical thinking, not encouraging convergent thinking, but divergent thinking. We need to help people who are critically oriented. Let us enhance and encourage our minds to be really thinking and finding solutions, moving out from first stage to the second stage to the third stage to the fourth stage, and reaching ultimately the fifth stage. And that is what Jesuit education really standing for. And I'm sure we will achieve it by our collective and positive, proactive ways of facing the challenges that our country faces today. Thank you very much.